Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe, Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans. I apologize, no stiggity stash. Went to a show with my dad and kind of had to shorten it. But let's get to the fun part. I've been wanting to have this young lady on the podcast for about 2 to maybe 3 years. She is from the UK. She wrestled from a promotion in the UK called WAW. It's ran by a very, very special person that's within the wrestling world. She can explain who it is. There's also another promotion called Bellatrix. They have a cool Viking logo. That's why I love it. This young lady is very special to the indie world in the UK, and I want you to meet her. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to Princess. Welcome, Princess. Welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
I'm so excited.
Right? It's been a while, right? We've been chatting for this podcast for at least 2 years.
It's been a very long while. I've known about you for a long while. I've seen you bring on Annabelle a lot.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see.
Yeah. It's been a while, and you were due. You were really due to come on this podcast, and I feel you were due because I had Annabelle on here. I've had so many names from the WAW family. So if my American-based, internationally known audience is not familiar with you, and why would they not be? Introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Princess. I wrestle for a business called WAW and Bellatrix. My coaches are Saraya Knight, Jason Cross, sometimes Pat, PJ Knight, Ricky Knight. I'm from Norwich in the UK. It's an amazing company, one of the best companies ever. It's such a good venue there. I wouldn't be here today without them. My gimmick is very attitudey, princessy, girly, pink, blonde, the Barbie version, I guess, of wrestling.
Awesome. So, when did you get this love of wrestling? What was the match, the first match you ever watched as a kid? Or what was it that made you go, this is for me?
Well, my mum, it's about 26 years now ago, she wrestled for the same company. She left to start a family. So she had my sister and then she had me. And we were one day clearing out the garage and we found some of her old stuff of wrestling, all her photos, and we found pictures of Saraya Knight, of Ricky Knight, of her tagging. She was telling me all her favourite things she did on the road. And then I used to watch WWE anyway when I was a kid. So my mum was like, you're only doing wrestling if you can name 10 female wrestlers and 10 male wrestlers. So I named all them, and then she took me down. My dad was a bit hesitant to let me start because I'm his baby princess. But we went down there all together, and then I did my first session with Saraya Knight. And then PJ Knight trained me for about 3 months. So, and then it was just like, this is me. When I took that first bump, I was like, this is for me.
So what was the first match you ever saw as a kid?
My first match, I think it was, I've seen a lot of matches, but I think it was the Bellas versus, I'm not 100% on who they were against now, I'm sitting here. But I think, oh no, it wasn't. It was Saraya Knight, Paige, back in the day, Paige, versus AJ.
Wow. That was a good match.
That was one of my first matches to watch. Actually, I think Nikki Bella's was then I started watching the Bellas a lot. But yeah, actually, it was them. I think it was, I think that was the first match I watched.
So after you found out it was kind of like almost a similar story for me, but I never stepped foot in the ring. For you, when you first decided to take that leap as a second generation like being in the business, then you went to Soraya school. What was the first time what was going through your mind and your body the first time you sat down and you were like, you sat down and you knew I walked into the training facility, what was it like? What was going through your mind?
Well, I think the first thought was like nervous, exciting. Just wanted to do everything I could to make my family proud and make my mum proud, obviously, with her being a wrestler. I was very nervous, but very excited at the same time to be doing this. So it was a lot of mixed emotions, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the thing, because you're young. You really love this business. You know your mama did it. So now you have to spread your wings
Yeah.
and become yourself. So like, how long did it take you to decide the name Princess was the name that, like, how many here we go. I think we changed the way I was gonna ask this question. How many other names was there in mind for you before you settled in on Princess?
There was actually none. I got thrown into an Oasis show. It was an all-girl show for the first time ever. I was part of that first ever camp all-girl show, and I was in a rumble. I was actually wearing blue because I literally got told the day before. And we were backstage, and Saraya came up to me and she was like, "What do you want to be called?" And I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. And my mum actually went to me. She went, "Oh, just pick a name, Princess. Like, pick a name." And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm just gonna be Princess. I've been called Princess my whole life. Like I'm my dad's Princess, so he calls me. My granddad's. Everyone just calls me Princess." And I was like, you know what? And I never looked back since.
Wow. So yeah, you've been Princess since day. You could make a T-shirt, Princess since day one.
I literally have been Princess from day one. I have cups when I was younger, like Princess in training. Like I still have it to this day, actually, of the cup. But yeah, it was a no factor for me to be called Princess.
Wow. So now you've been the Princess all this time, and like, does does it hit you that like you have these young kids walking up to you at shows, or like, and they like are asking you all this advice? Like, do you ever feel like, wow, I went from being like that small child watching the Bellas and watching Soraya, and now I'm actually in the ring? Like, what is it? Has it hit you yet? Have you thought about it yet? That was me. Now look at me, kind of thing.
It hits me every time I walk out the curtain on, like, especially camp shows. Just like hearing people call your name, buy your merch, ask for photos. Like I did a Chroma Carnival for WAW not that long ago, and I literally walked through backstage and I got bombarded with fans of just saying, "You're my hero, you're the best wrestler, like you're so pretty," and all this, like just saying I'm their hero, and like they look up to me. And it just melts my heart every time I wrestle, hearing this from kids. It just melts my heart, and it makes me think like I was there like 5.5 years ago, and now look at me. Like, it's incredible.
Wow. So what does it feel like to work under a woman like Soraya, like that's such a big name in the UK? Is it
Oh,
like, and it's like, this is a compliment to Soraya. So if you're watching this, Soraya, it's so honored to have someone of your awesome students, another one of your awesome students on the pod. So what does it feel like to work under Soraya?
she's one of the best trainers in the world. Like, she literally treats everyone like family. Like, there's not a bad word I could say about Soraya. She treats everyone with such niceness and familyness. Like, you could ring her and say, "Soraya, I need you," and she'd be there in a heartbeat. Like, she's one of the best trainers. She, like, you could learn so much from her in a weekend. It is ridiculous. Like, she's such an incredible woman, and it's such an honor to be one of her students, and like someone she's like, "I can't wait for you to go out on the circuit and represent us." Like, it's just such an honor from her.
So, like, I'm from the States and I learned about you because of WAW and Bellatrix. So,
Yeah.
like, if the fans want to watch more of the Bellatrix slash WAW like stuff, where can they find all that fun craziness?
We have a YouTube page. It's called WAW/Bellatrix Wrestling. and you can find out all matches, all storylines to set up for basically for our biggest show on the 21st of September. We have Fightmare, so at the moment it's a lot of people starting to get matches of like rivalries and stuff, because there's a lot of rivalries that have gone down recently in WAW with people, which is shocking. But yeah, WAW YouTube page is where you'll find everything you need to see.
Awesome. Have you gotten into any rivalries lately? Because I know we talked about with I just had Annabelle on. She was saying how you guys now are a team. You're buddies now. Like
Yeah,
any rivalries?
I've got one at the moment. I came back and pinned when I came back, I got I had a match with I was in a tag. I think it was me and Roxy versus Fiona and Scarlett, and I pinned the British champion, but I didn't get the belt because it wasn't a belt match. So now me and her are in a rivalry at the moment due to me wanting the belt and coming after her. So she's not very liking it that much, but I will get the belt one day.
Oh, you will. Dudes are Ringside magic. You will. You'll
I
get
will.
that belt. You'll get
She's
that
me.
belt, bro. You'll get that belt.
She just cheats anyway.
Well, you are part of this like lineage of wrestling. So like, is there any wrestlers within the UK or stuff you've been seeing on Instagrams that you've been wanting to wrestle but you haven't had the opportunity to wrestle yet?
Oh, there's a few girls that come to my head, like Lana Austin, LA Taylor, Lucy Sky. Annabelle recently had a match with her, so I watched that and I wanted a match with her. Harley, 100%. She wears all pink. Even Tag will be a dream because I just love her. She's amazing.
That hair. She has that big poofy hair.
So awesome. I met her and she's such a lovely girl, honestly. I had a match with Aurora. She was one of the best matches I've had in a while. But there is a lot of girls on the circuit. Like, it'd be hard to sit here and name so many because I want to wrestle all the girls. I want to wrestle every single girl.
We got time, princess. Don't worry. There's no time limit on the podcast. We could be here for till 8:00. Like, keep going.
Honestly.
My mom and dad will be calling me up down, bringing lunch, bringing dinner down. I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's so many girls, and it'd be such an opportunity to even, like, wrestle outside the circuit and stuff like that anyway. So, yeah, definitely. I love wrestling my WAW girls, though. Like, I do love wrestling my WAW girls because there's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So with me being from the US, are you ever thinking of coming to the States to compete?
Yeah. I definitely want to. My main one I want to go to is, well, not my main one. There's a few. I want to wrestle in Japan. I want to wrestle in Texas. Definitely, obviously, I want to make it to AEW or WWE one day. Obviously, that's every wrestler's dream. But I definitely want to travel a lot in the US to wrestle. Is definitely a big goal for me.
We got to wrestle in New York. That's the other big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of come to New York. Well, I live in Pennsylvania, and I'm always partial because Paul Bowe knows, and he starts to laugh when I say this. I got to tell them about my local wrestling because # support your local indie promotion. Definitely come to PA. I got to give you the coops and tell you about PPW and Slatington, Pennsylvania, because it's fun. They do shows every every not every Saturday, but like every month they'll have a show on Saturday night and stuff like that. And they do their show like almost like a consignment shop. So one side of the building's like a sports plus, and then the other half of the arena has like unlimited supply of like you could buy anything from pops to like old knickknacks and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. The building.
Oh, that sounds really cool. To be fair,
send your parents off that way. You're like, guys, the show's doors open at 6. Bell time 7. Just go over here I'm going to practice. You go over there. It's like a daycare center for the parents. Like, go over there. You go over there. I'm going to go this way. Like, so when it comes to like their week of like a show, like what kind of like training do you do? What is it like? How do you break it down?
Well, I normally like to go to the gym at least obviously 3 days a week. I like to training. We do once a month training weekends for wrestlers, and then if we can get down during the week, but it's hard sometimes with jobs and stuff like that. It's hard, but we have a really good facility where we can train every day at the gym. But I do a lot of kids class on a Monday and Wednesday, so I get to train then as well. So I do a lot of training with that. So, and then obviously I get ready for a show. I like to do my tan, like to do my hair, like to all the all the girly stuff.
All the princess stuff.
All the princess stuff.
So, like, I always hate doing this because it's like the sad part of the wrestling business. You're just back now from being injured.
Yes.
Like, what? Like, do you remember the moment you got hurt, or does it not click through your brain when that happened?
Well, mine was more of not a I didn't break anything, which was good.
Thank God.
I didn't break anything, so I've had a few problems in the past. It was to do with some stomach issues.
Oh, okay.
So I had a lot of problems beforehand when I was younger, and as I was getting older, it was getting better. And then I had a big. I went to holiday last year, and a week into my holiday, I was really bad, and I couldn't work out why. I couldn't keep any food down. I was in so much pain all the time. So I carried on wrestling, and I did my last match with Trina. Destiny. And I passed out after, and I was just vomiting a lot after. So that's when Soraya, Jason Cross came to me and said, "Look, what's going on?" I explained to them everything, and they were like, "You need to go get checked." So I listened to him. I went to the doctors. I got checked. I was in and out of hospital for 9.5 months. Just having loads of tests done to find out what's going on. Then I got all better. So, and then I came back, and then a week later I had a car accident. So I had to take some more time out. Yeah, so I had to take some more time out. Luckily, it was only a week, just let the bruising heal. So, and then I'm back officially, and I'm hopefully going to stay officially back.
Please, yes. I can't stand hearing that young wrestlers like you get hurt and have to go to the hospital and they're in there for a while. It's just so sad because you have a very your career needs to go as long as possible because it's so good to know that you're one of those young and little wrestlers that kept going. And I learned about you very of some people, like Annabelle mentioned you. I used to talk to Destiny Tracy back in the day about you and all your talk. So when it comes to eating, do you have to have a certain training food regimen? Because I know everybody's different the way they eat when it comes to wrestlers.
Yeah, I'm really bad and I'm really guilty for it. I am not the best healthy eater in the world. Not the best. I try to be good. But when you're doing sometimes camps where you're traveling on the road every day, you just stop and get a McDonald's quickly. So you've eaten. So I'm not the best. So I do try. I do eat salads. Try to eat all my good stuff. I still get my 5 days in. I drink a lot of water. But I'm bad for energy drinks.
Yeah,
that's my main one. But keeps me awake, I guess.
Yeah. So what is your with you being from the UK, and I have a lot of friends and family that watch the podcast from Pennsylvania and New York and everything like that. So they're not in the UK. What would you say would be your favorite thing from the UK that my fans are not familiar with the food wise that you would like to say you talk about tonight? We love supporting local business. So what kind of local business that you would like to say you eat whenever you want to?
It's really hard because I'm a McDonald's girly. I love a McDonald's.
Ooh,
but then
okay.
There is this small place in Norwich. It's called Chuck, and it's in the middle of the city, and it's like a knockoff Nando's. But oh my god, it's one of the best chicken I've ever had.
Wow, I've heard of Nando's in 3 years. I remember Nando's. You're gonna laugh, Princess. Nando's used to message during the podcast all the time.
Really?
I don't know if it was the Nando's page. The male and female wrestlers in the UK would talk about them so much that they started messaging during the podcast, like,
Oh
"Hey guys,
gosh.
what's up?" And like, "Hey, yeah, talk about us." And I'm just like, hey Nando's, if you're watching this, come on guys, keep coming in the chat, keep coming
Yeah,
in here.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one is like a kind of like a Nando's, and it's just amazing. Like that's a good place to go to eat when you fancy something like chickeny.
So if I ever came to the UK and I said, "Hey Princess, I'm here," what spots, what kind of places would you bring me to? First non-wrestling, then wrestling related.
For non-wrestling, sightseeing around Norwich, because there are some beautiful places around Norwich. There's this one beautiful place that it's been seen a lot in Fighting With My Family, and it's on top of a hill, and you're looking out, and you can just see the whole city, especially at night when it's all lit up. It's so beautiful. There's a bench. It's just one of the most beautiful, clearest minds, and paddleboarding.
Ooh, yeah.
I went paddleboarding yesterday with Saray Knight and a bunch of other wrestlers, and honestly, one of the best things in the world. It's so good for you.
Lucky you got a chance to hang out with the queen of the British wrestling scene. I'm jealous. I
I
am
did.
so jealous. You had a chance to hang out with Soraya.
I
We
did.
definitely when you're done with me, definitely if you could message Soraya and tell her that Joe Panther III would absolutely be honored if she has a chance to out of her busy schedule come on Dudes at Ringside. I would love to have her on. Like,
Yeah, I think she could if she would, but I think yeah, she's obviously a very busy woman. Like everything she does, she's always doing something when you see her. You walk into the building, she's always running around doing something. Bless her. And you're like, "Are you alright, George?" She's like, "Yeah." Just like she's off.
yeah, I
Bless
get
her.
that. She's the big mama around town in that place. You know what I mean? Like that's
She is.
all her. So, like, do you collect anything?
Oh, collect. I don't think I collect anything. No.
I collect pops. I collect pops and stuff like that.
I love my Lego, if that counts as a collection.
Oh yeah, Legos is a collection.
Yeah, I sit there and make Legos. Me and this wrestler, Simon Haywood, we will literally send memes to each other throughout the whole day of just Lego. Because we both just are obsessed with Lego. He bought me and his wife Lego for my birthday.
Aw. Did you
Because
ever find a Lego castle?
I have built a Lego castle, a pink Disney castle.
Oh jeez. Was it one of those giant ones that you're like, you know how this, you know what I mean, like the Star Wars
Yeah,
thing,
it was.
and you're like,
It was like that big, I think. That no, about that big and about that tall.
oh wow,
So it was a big one. It took me 4 days.
wow,
So but it was worth it.
awesome. That's great. It's so cool that people like wrestlers could find time to do like make Legos and stuff like that, but most people have a hard time even thinking straight in the middle of the day, like
But
me.
sometimes you need that because, like, Lego for me is clearing your mind after wrestling, after your adrenaline's kicked in and stuff like that. I think some wrestlers have their own different ways of like stopping the adrenaline going. Like, obviously, you've got a lot of adrenaline with you and in you after a match and before a match. So I think it's one way to clear your head before. So mine's Lego and like getting ready for a show, doing my makeup, having a tan, dyeing my hair, like that's mine as well. But other people have like just sitting and chilling, sleeping, just training or something like that. So everyone has different things. But mine and a couple of others, the wrestlers, are a lot of Lego, especially Joe Bell. I don't know if you've heard of him, Joe Bell.
No, I don't think I've heard of him.
He's obsessed with Lego as well. Uh, so he made a train the other day, and we all sent it to each other, and we're all sitting on the phone watching this train go around on a train track out of Lego.
That's awesome. Is there any like if not Saraya, but a promoter went up to you and asked you, "Hey, we need you to do this certain match." Was there anything that you're like totally not down for, like any style matches?
No, Jules is Soraya's never been like, you need to do this match. She's like, look, we've got this opportunity for you to wrestle this girl. Do you want to do it? And you're like, yeah. Like Jules will never ever Soraya will never put any of the girls in like an unsafe situation. So as soon as she goes, you're wrestling this girl, we know we're safe and we know we can do it.
Mm.
So for her to say we can wrestle an outside girl is a big opportunity for us girls, and that makes us more happy than anything that she believes in us. So that means we believe in ourselves.
Yeah, that's the number one thing. You have to believe in yourself over
Yeah,
anything else. Believe in yourself. So
exactly.
yeah. So I have I have 3 more questions for you.
Okay.
One question is, where do you see yourself 5 to 10 years in the wrestling business?
In 5 to 10 years, I'm hoping that I'm gonna either be in AEW or WWE and travelled a lot in wrestling. I'm hoping that I've done a lot of travelling with my wrestling. I'm hoping that I've wrestled in Texas, New York, Australia, Japan, and then been making it to the big leagues. That's what I'm hoping for.
The, the next question is, with your name being Princess, and now as I asked Annabelle, she grew up with the character, and you're at the age now that if there was like a wrestler with you, a younger wrestler, would you ever move up to Queen and hand them the princess character?
I don't think I could ever give up my princess character because it's something very special to me. It's something I built a lot on, and it's something that has. I don't think I would have gone as far in the company without having this princess name. But there is one girl in the Y, like the young performers, who I've trained a bit with, and she is such a good wrestler, and she has the attitude. She actually has one of my skirts at the moment. I normally give her my skirts that I don't use anymore when I make a new one. Um, so I think, yeah, she definitely has potential to be kind of like my character. I don't think she'd ever go into being a princess because she's too sassy for it. She's got the attitude. So I don't think she's ever going to call herself princess, but there was some talk a while back about her going to be like a mini me. But she still is technically like a mini me. She's blonde. She wears the pink. She wears the black. She's awesome what she does as well. But yeah, she has my skirt, but I don't think she'll ever be a princess just because I don't think I'd be ready to give it up.
Mm. My last question for you: if there was any kids that were watching this podcast tonight or listening to it on Spotify tomorrow, I don't know why kids would be listening on Spotify. Hey kids, either way, what's up? This is Mr. Panther here. You can't see my face. Good thing. Um, uh, if if they just started their journey in this crazy world of professional wrestling, and they took a few bumps and they're kind of like, I don't know if I should do this. What kind of advice would you have for them?
I would say wrestling takes a lot of hard work. It's not something easy you can just go into like with your body. You're putting your body on the line at the end of the day with wrestling. You are. Every single night you wrestle, every single time you step foot in that ring, you are putting your body on the line. But your body does warm up to it. Like my first bump, I was in agony, but then after a while, you don't really feel it. But you need to be sure of something like this in the business. If you want to do it, you need to be 100%. You can't be like 99. You need to be 100% you want to do this business because this business is such a big thing with putting your body on the line. If you're ready to put your body on the line, this is something you want to do, then do it. But if you're not, then don't do it. And this is what I tell my YP performers when I help them train and stuff. I tell them, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Don't force yourself to do it because you want to make money or whatever on wrestling. Do it because it's something you love to do, something that you want to do, and something that brings you happiness and brings you so much light to your life. Don't do it just for the money or the fame.
Awesome. Before we go, Princess, if my fans want to pick up any Princess merch, where can they find it?
At WAW, on Facebook, it's WAW box office. So you can pick it up there.
Awesome. If my fans want to follow you on social media, how can they find you?
My Instagram is princess_BFW for Bellatrix Female Warriors, and on Facebook it's the same thing. Yes.
Awesome. Princess, I want to thank you so much for finally coming on the podcast, making your presence known. I want to wish you nothing but the best. Your return, your re-rise in the wrestling ranks, And we give you all the magic that you're going to come back on next year with belts, 2 titles, 3 titles, a wall behind you of championship belts, because that's what we do here at Dudes at Ringside. We send the good vibes. Good vibes.
Thank you for having me. It was
No problem.
honestly, had such a good time.
And please tell your wrestling friends, I'm Joe Panther III.
And I'm Princess.
And we will catch you in the next one.